What's up, Go enthusiasts? Today was the finals of the playoffs of the World Youth Go Championship. In the playoffs, there were 4 players, Alex Chi, and representatives from China, Korea, and Taiwan. Each country sent one representative to the World Youth Go Championship. Alex was the United States representative, and you might be wondering, where was the Japanese representative in the Final Four? Turns out that he lost to the Taiwanese guy by half a point, and then lost in tiebreakers to Alex. Alex's opponents had won one more game than the Taiwanese players' opponents, and that's how Alex just squeaked in to the Final Four, where he got paired up against Li Sihan. Li Sihan, Chinese 1P. This is the under 18 division of the World Youth Go Championship. There's an under 12 division and an under 18 division. Let's see Alex play against Li Sihan in the semifinals of the World Youth Go Championship. This is a big, big tournament. The prior winners of the under 18 division are Ke, Chen Yaoye, Mi Yuting, Li Chencheng. Many world champions have won this tournament before. I mean, adult world champions. This is a serious tournament. So here's Alex Chi trying to make it to the finals. No non-Korean, Japanese, Chinese, or Taiwanese player has ever made it to the finals of the World Youth Go Championship under 18 division. Not a single time in 40 years of it running. Janice Kim made it to the under 12 division, but Alex has a chance to do something special and historic here if he can beat Li Sihan, one Dan pro from China. Okay, in the start, I've just been moving past this because they played normal Joseki, corner patterns that you could play or I could play in our games as well. Actually, Alex and I tend to play quite a similar style. It's just that he does it a lot better. So I really like watching Alex's games because it's like, oh yeah, I can vibe with the idea. And then sometimes, maybe 1 every 10 moves, I'm like, oh yeah, you should of course do it like that. That's just obviously better than what I would do. It's very nice. Good for me to study, actually, I think. Anyway, over here, this may seem like it's the first non-Joseki, but actually this is still just basically a common follow-up to the original corner pattern there. I think if it weren't, we'd probably see more people try the Atari and Tiger's Mouth nonsense in the left side here, but people have studied and know that actually if you do that, it ends up being a bad exchange a lot of the time, so you should just break the bamboo on the outside, always break the bamboo, and then white needs to fix the Atari, and then you can Hana here. So the reason why we don't Atari is because now we leave a co-threat behind, when white was going to fix anyway. So black blocks here. Actually, common pattern is to not block there and play like elsewhere, because if white pushes through, then it actually helps you build other stuff, like on the bottom side here. And I think probably black didn't want that in this case, because white has a huge area potentially forming on the left side. And he probably thought it's just a lot more comfortable to block here and then save those stones and have like a direct route to go and reduce the white area later in the middle game. But Alex actually tends to punish this kind of small, strategic, like, you weren't really supposed to do that, very accurately. Alex is really, really good, I think, as a strategic Go player, especially for his age, especially for the under 18 division of the World Youth Go Championship. He plays this one, N17. I think it's a wonderful move, asking black, which side are you supposed to approach? Which side would you like to attack me? And black gets it wrong. He approaches from the wrong side, so you can feel free to pause the video and think if you like. Should you attack it from L17 or P17? Which, like, do we attack it from the left side or do we attack it from the right side? Black in the game plays from the left side, and it was incorrect. If you play here, then the problem is you'll end up building territory with your wall, which, as we tell people all the time, you're not supposed to do that. Black is here doing that, so now Alex punishes it really well with attach. And black has to fall back, otherwise if he Hanas, then white will play even more forcing moves. This is the least he can do to defend, but still he ends up with a really over-concentrated and small shape there. You can see, if you compare the black area on the bottom side, super, super solid, but maybe 20 points max, to the white area on the left side, not solid at all, and way bigger. You can see why white should be favored here, actually. White is just better. Even if black can come in and reduce that left side white area later, this is just an over-concentrated shape for black on the bottom. So black wasn't supposed to do that. Instead of approaching here, he should have approached from the corner. And then, Alex could take a base, but it doesn't mean that this wall is ineffective. Afterwards, black can attack from the center, lean from the center is fine here, he can go do other things, and although this wall won't make territory, it can still be used to attack that white group later on, so it's not inefficient this way. However, Li Zihan chose to play here, and therefore made his own wall slightly inefficient by taking territory next to it. And Alex punished that really well with the attach, and then by continuing to save his stone very nicely with this slide into the corner. If you can go and save in the corner, like black is kind of busted, so black needs to make sure that his Q16, the 4/4 stone, is going to be fine. And so black plays the 3/3, approaching into the white base, taking his own base, and Alex falls back and bumps here, making a lot of sense. So Alex has basically finished a base on the bottom side, he's taking care of himself really well, and black can go and take the 2-space jump, taking his base to take care of himself on the right side. Apparently, this was also wrong, by the way. To me, I like this black move. That looks normal to me, that looks good to me. But Alex actually took advantage of it. He pushed here, which was great, forcing black to respond again. Black feels so annoyed, because if black hanes, white is going to hane again and press again that black should respond again. So black just falls back, tries to say, I won't respond, I won't respond, I won't respond, and please stop over-concentrating me. And white plays push here. That was a really good move as well. So if black doesn't respond, white is going to get super, super strong here with the bottom side group, and then all of black's giga thickness on the left side does effectively nothing. I mean, it ended up getting only like 8 points with a super big wall. So black responds, trying to make sure that his right side is safe and that he can continue to attack the white bottom side group. And Alex says that was already a good exchange for me. It was. I mean, white gained territory, white gained thickness from that. Black really didn't gain very much at all. So Alex plays away to the top side, attacking those 3 stones. This opening has been fantastic for white so far. Black plays peep here. And this is where the AI analysis they had started running. Blunder, 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 every move. It turns out there's a really interesting sequence going on in the upper right that's actually related to the global situation. So black was kind of able to punish this pincer move. I'm going to say it was a mistake, and probably white should have used this one instead. First of all, by putting a stone here, we're not likely to get topside territory due to the, open skirt is the technical term for it on the top side. But also black has this sequence, this really interesting sequence, like this. Yeah, everybody's seen this before, and here, well, if white just captured, everybody knows that's a good idea for black to do. Black can switch the influence from facing towards the top side, which white was attacking and was totally useless for territory. Nobody wants influence that way, and instead face it towards the right side. And that seems to just nearly finish off a black area there. Yeah, yes please. Give me that instead of this, right? No one cares about that influence. So that would be great for black, everybody agrees. And that's why white usually never does that. If black tries to switch in a situation after white has already pincered, black is basically begging to be cut and attacked. The problem here is that black would directly play capture. And typically what you want to do then is Atari. If you can get this Atari first and force black to connect, then go back and capture, you can continue to attack in the center and on the right side. It's all good for you. Problem is that now black will actually do the crazy ko, which is normally a terrible idea, because if white wins this ko, let's say black does a normal size ko threat like this one, then white wins the ko, black can extend in, that broke the entire left side territory, that's a ko threat, that's very big, but white managed to save this, kill those stones on the top side, kill those stones on the right side, and make a massive influence and huge amount of territory, and a huge amount, like, this is way bigger, way bigger than normal. So most of the time, nobody has a co-threat for that. Most of the time. In this board, is different. Actually, black does have a co-threat for that over here. This is why we left that co-threat earlier. This is why it's correct not to go and exchange those things too early. If you're just going to go and cover anyway, right? Now black has this massive co-threat here. And if white connects, then black can capture. Even if white Ataris, black can connect. And look, black captured all of this, but not only that, black also managed to reduce the left side just with the power of his influence, and broke all of the white territory on the left side, like on the bottom left as well. So this is a huge territory swing, a bigger territory swing than white just capturing the 4 stones in the top and the influence here. And okay, what this all means is that white actually cannot play the Atari in this circumstance. This is a situation where black has a co-threat advantage, meaning that white can't Atari, white just has to back off and save the corner. And from there, black can pull a sacrifice of those 3 stones. It's actually going to be very good for black to have made a capture and make such a clean shape. Basically, white succeeds in using the pincer to build a topside territory through capturing, but it's still, there's an open skirt, so it's still not going to be that big, and black's right side is looking really, really imposing. So that was urgent. But it was urgent for this very complicated reason that most of the time doesn't work, but in this case black has a big co-threat and white doesn't. So in this case it was like kind of special scenario that this pincer, there was a good response for black locally. And so that's why basically over here the AI was complaining all the time, like, rawr, you guys should go do that. But it makes sense, locally speaking, what they did here pretty well. I think Alex probably also, he could have just saved the group locally without necessarily using the connect there. If he instead just built a base over here, it might have made him a little more comfortable to have a clean life. In the game, when it goes like this, he's gonna run, so his bottom side group is not literally alive yet. He still is gonna have to take care of it later in the game, but he's relying on this 1 stone to have some influence and effect on the center. So hopefully this white side group will be naturally strong, and this will affect a Moyo to build in the center. Well, anyway, that gave black the chance to come back and handle the top side, but he did not find the special co-threat sequence. Instead, Li Sihan just played the normal move. This is the move that I always play when I get to follow up over here. However, after the cut, it's very dangerous. Black ended up playing the Hane and connect immediately here, which is a mistake. But it's a really hard mistake because it seems like it should be right, to be honest. This one is the one that you're supposed to do, and it's the one that I always do when I handle this black. But the problem is, in this case it's a bit different because there's a pincer here. So this black is really not easy to save at all. It's extremely easy to find yourself, you know, if you just, oh, I'll just do it casually, whoops, I am dead. And you need to find some, you know, crazy possibilities, and you have a step to save yourself. It is a disaster for black. So black tried to save himself like more actively than that on the top side. He tried to save himself with the weaknesses. Probably, I think the only good variation here for black was to do it using the diagonal first, then doing this stuff. White's correct move to save over here is famously the turn. We're going to see Alex know that in the future. And then black needed to find exactly this move. And this was the only way to keep the game at the same level of loss that it already was for black from white's, you know, good bottom side. Instead, when it went like this here, oops, sorry for spoilers, white played the shoulder hit, basically, the cover of those 2 stones. And so he's inviting black to go in, press down, and try to race his corner. Then he's going to cover and surround black, which black found suitably scary to run out and run out again. Actually, black probably should play here, but it's so dangerous and so scary. I don't know if I personally would be able to do it. I think the correct sequence, it was something like you can push here and Hane, and then wait, it's supposed to connect to gain the maximum liberties, but black has this move, which is a great liberty to Suji. And then afterwards, now it will turn out that there's no way really for white to win this capture ace. Black can chase it. There was no easy way for white to gain more liberties than that, but white just gets a perfect squeeze on the outside here, and that's already going to be good enough for white. It was still better for black probably if he can go and capture the corner very cleanly like that, to do that rather than to run here, which allowed Alex to churn and save the corner. So Alex is like, he's really good at finding these strategies where he's doing stuff which is normal, and he asks you what you want to do that you think should be normal, and you have to find the most precise way. Black had to find only attach to run, or only turn here to save with the capture race in the corner. And when Black does something just a little bit offbeat, not necessarily obviously wrong, but just offbeat, then already Alex gets an advantage. He secures something from the Black mistake by just taking care of himself. Of course here, instead of that one, it's famous, he could have lived like this instead, but then when Black blocks here, White would still need to spend a move answering for the life and death. So turning here is the better way by territory to save that group. Okay, and then Black plays the shoulder hit. He needs to run out and save those stones on the top side, especially now that White got extra influence in the center. So White is going to attack them, and he attacks them gloriously, grand, with this large knight's move running. Well, obviously Black is just going to keep running, and White pulls back, Black pushes, and White pulls back, making sure to stay stable there. And you can see the reason why he chose that large knight's move position. He already knew he was going to be answering Black's pushes here. Black had almost nothing else to do on the top side. And then he probably thought, okay, given that Black is going to run through there, where do I want my stone to stay on top of Black? And, well, this is clearly at the vital point now, right? So Black hanes first and turns. Instead of continuing to run and basically help White take care of the right side or develop the left side, he's just going to settle down, curl in a ball here, and save himself if he can. So Alex says, all right, you go do that. I'll take care of my weak group. This is a really good move, actually. A lot of people don't do this enough. He just has noticed, okay, I left a somewhat thin shape and a somewhat thin shape earlier because the attack was brewing and, we were doing things. But now that that has sort of settled down, taking care of the cutting points while securing a center area is really valuable. Like, not only does this stone move, it moves towards the bottom side, it sort of moves the groups together, aims at the right side weaknesses of Black, but it sets up a shape in the center here where Alex has just defended his cuts and made it impossible for Black to use them to make trouble, at least in any easy way in the future. So this kind of move really makes Alex's game a lot easier. I think it's a great strategic lesson to learn from. You have time. He could continue to attack the topside group, but he pauses, takes a moment, plays here, and says, you do you. How are you going to gain against me here? Well, Black just blocks, trying to defend this right side. So first the forcing move, and then uses the super active knight's move, trying to access those cutting points. Let me in, let me in, let me in. White says, if you want, you still have some weaknesses on the right side. Black says, I know, but I still kind of want to get in here. And it turns out that this is linked up. So if White attaches across, then Black can just about barely connect everything. The problem for Black is while Black does that, White's going to get some squeeze. White's going to get some extra outside power, and that has already fixed his cutting point here. So knowing that his cutting point is already fixed, Alex continues to jump to play away. This is one of the moments where I was like, oh yeah, of course. If it was me, then I would have just gone through, made the sente already, and then jumped. But there's no need to play the sente so early. It's just a clear improvement to be like, okay, my cutting point is already fixed. You have nothing you're going to do anyway. So let's just play as if the cutting point is fixed, right? If instead Alex had done it my way here, and whoop, 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 exchange it all. All right, now my cutting point is fixed, and now I'll go, and, maybe I'll take the sente moves and play away. White loses a million co-threats. White loses the chance to do other things in the shape later. It makes a lot more sense to just jump first, right? So, great by Alex. Obviously not wasting co-threats, but it would have been my mistake had I played. And when Black plays this move, now he goes in and exchanges the stones, because now, if he doesn't, then Black could try to use the shortage liberty of White to deny Alex the option. So once he gets it this far, now no longer will White be shorted liberties. Instead, it's going to be Black who's shorted liberty first. So this is enough, and Alex says, all right, I will block the center. He doesn't just play a plain defense, because he doesn't need to play a plain defense yet. This cutting point is covered, and there's no way for Black to cut through when he blocks in the center. So once again, he's going to go cover his cutting points with a big shape in the center. And once again, it causes trouble to Black. Black can go in and harass the right side, it's still connected. So again, if black would push through here, it would be a ridiculous mistake because of this. And all the time, that's what black is using. White could use the Sente move first and then connect, but all the time, Alex is like, let me conserve a code threat. It's just better. It's just better. Why not, right? So he links up here. And then black plays this one. So black is looking to reduce the left side. But the game has gone so well for Alex. Honestly, Alex has played out of his mind. This first 100 moves was fantastic for white. Overall, he's leading so much. He's almost leading if there was no Komi. Maybe he is leading if there was no Komi. Honestly, I think he is leading if there was no Komi, yeah. But now, move 100, he makes his first, I'd say... Oh, no, still it's fine, it's fine. This is still... That was good, attacking the black group over there. But this one, move 104, this is his first mistake. Yeah, attacking that group, definitely Sente, you can get some time. And then he knows he's supposed to turn back to build the left side here. But he probably, honestly, got a little bit lazy with it. Probably enjoying his position a little too much. It's just, I know how it feels. It's very fun to be leading a lot strategically. You're like, yes, I'm the best. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And you keep doing things and you're like, all right, this is a similar strategy to what I was doing and this is a good strategy and you just feel like nothing can ever go wrong. But something can go wrong with this. And it's something that Alex probably should know about at his level. Black plays the Hane and connect. Honestly, I think Alex does know about it, but there's a special reason why it probably got messed up this time. If white responds here, white didn't respond here, but if white responds here, that kind of loses 2 points in kind of double Sente. So instead of this 104, Alex shouldn't have forgotten to descend here first. If it goes like this, then now he could play away, and black could play this endgame here. Yeah, the endgame for white in the corner looks very threatening, but it's not exactly Sente, so that's going to get challenged in a pro game. Like they're not gonna, you're not gonna get away with Hane Connect there if it's not exactly Sente. Black is going to go do other big things, and the game is going to get hard. So the descend is Sente because the descend doesn't leave behind. Yeah, right now, if white jumps in here, then this black group has to save itself like that. That's really, really, really painful to save itself like that. If instead black doesn't play away there, answers, and white does this stuff, then now when white plays here, it's more helped out by the fact that this Hane exists. So that's going to create a shortage of liberty for white, which black can use to make codes sometimes, black can use to save himself sometimes. In general, this is just a better shape. So the descend itself is Sente. The Hane Connect usually is not towards this corner. But the main point, that's irrelevant. Most of the time, if you wanted to, he could get this descend in Sente. And when he does so, the end game is going to look like this, right? So you can see from the initial, like both sides walking down to the side of the board, white has been reduced 2 points. If it goes like this. And in the game, when he played this move first, forgetting to exchange the descend, then black Hane connects, and then eventually white realizes he has to connect like this. And then the end game there, either side could Hane, but it's going to be Gote. So if you even it out, the middle result, which is equal to the current position, it looks like this. So here black has 1 extra point compared to what we saw before of the walls going down. And yeah, white still has 2 moves inside, but he also has a third one protecting the cutting point. So black is 1 point bigger and white is 1 point smaller. In the situation where black Hane connects in Sente, rather than, or on the second line rather than on the first line, after white exchanges this this descent. So this happens all the time. Alex, I'm sure he knows about that, but he probably thought, if black Hane connects, I can play away and I'll never have to answer. In which case, it makes sense actually, it can be smaller. However, yeah, black showed him it was kind of difficult when this happened. So originally, if black clamps, indeed Alex is right. So now when black cuts and plays like this is a big mess. However, although it's a big mess, it's just inside white's area. And there's no way for black to really do anything. Like, you can Atari all you want, great, good job. But still, eventually, like white is just gonna cut and attack it. It's not really comfortable for black at all. So that's why black pushed here. Black was like, okay, I can't clamp yet, and I can't make that fighting work yet. But when I play just some random moves on the top side here, the situation is going to change and change and change. And all it needs is for one moment where the clamp works, and I'll break your whole left side territory. So Alex was like, man, I could answer here locally. Like, it's possible he could Hane or he could do something. But if I do, then I'm just going to get this troublesome game. And actually, you don't really objectively gain that much to cover it after paying like all these different things that you don't want to make the variation work. It's probably better to just come back and connect here first. I think Alex at this point realized, like, he probably wanted to cover the clamp, but then black push here, and he's like, you know what? Never mind. I'm not going to cover the clamp. I'll just go back and eat it here. But the end result is effectively that black got the Hane connect in Sente, and then there is this other exchange. But both of those moves are just normal moves in the center. The biggest thing is that black gained 2 points on the upper left. So if that hadn't happened, white was winning by like 8 points or so. 2 points down the drain, white's still winning by 6 points. He can keep it. Let's see. Black plays in the center here. This is a great move. Looking at the weaknesses here, not just some cutting points and stuff, and not just the area in the center, but also the white bottom side group and the white right side group. They both aren't completely healthy yet. So black isn't like attacking them, but he's just breaking the areas next to them and just watching, just looking at them. It's really a lot of pressure on Alex, a very difficult kind of position to handle. So he pushes first, and black says, that's Gote. I'm not going to answer that. And Alex, okay, I have to answer this one. And black, that thing was Gote. I don't have to answer that. He plays over here, attacking the white bottom side group. That was limiting the space that white could try to build in the center. White says, you can take those 2 stones. I could take these 3 stones. Sounds like a good deal. So black had to answer over here. And eventually, the white push there, black got to treat it as Gote. The downside is that black got reduced a lot to this area and is going to get squeezed in the endgame. He's going to lose some endgame there. But still, it was Gote, and white has to come back and fix. And when black pushes and Hane's here, covering that endgame a bit, later when black connects, this white group has 1 eye. Right now, it's not worth it to connect, though. Black plays in the center here, and this is a great move. Yeah, Li Shihan, he's showing his power. I mean, this is really, really annoying to answer, because the one space jump there and the diagonal there, they have a problem. when you have so many weaknesses next to each other, sometimes they just add up. And what this move does is, by protecting the cutting points here for black, black makes it so that he can approach those weaknesses. If he didn't do this, let's say he goes for it directly. First of all, I'll give white the Sente to make things clear. Then white would Atari here and block like this. And black would love to cut and kill the group over here, but white can take the Atari for free first, and then choke these black 4 stones. You can see there's 2 cutting points and no way for black to save them. Obviously, Alex read this a long time ago. That's why he played the diagonal move here, the push here, that particular sequence, was he knew, okay, after all this, then you aren't going to be able to cut me. This move is making that work again. So it's asking Alex, okay, you have to put a stone in this area, and there's no value anywhere. So I'm going to get value in the form of potential territory on the right side. You're going to get value of nothing. It made sense. It's so hard for Alex to answer, and he actually answered it wrong like this. He said, I'm going to get my value towards your top side group, but it was the wrong push to aim at this cutting point. This is a really famous sort of Sumego technique, but Alex didn't realize it was a Sumego type position to aim at this cut. Yeah, instead of this one, Alex should have played here for very much the same meaning. So we're going to see in the game, black is going to play away from this peep. He doesn't want to just answer. And then Alex will get this peep in Sente and then come back and answer and fight in the center. So that's great, but you can see here, black has the potential later. Black can play at p5. And when white plays down, it's not quite going to live, but white's going to have to make a 3-stone group. Basically, black gets an extra potential point of eye space compared to if Instead of this, Alex had played this move. So this move, then black still doesn't want to answer, but the peep that white plays, which is a diagonal away from the cutting point, is much stronger than the peep that white plays, which is direct on the cutting point. You can see the difference here. Now, if black connects straightly, then white can push in later already. When black blocks, it's not sente to live anymore. So black can block like that, and white even has the potential to make another potential point of territory and eye for himself in the center. Yeah. If black wouldn't do it this way, right, then later white can just push in and reduce even one more point. So the difference between these two peeps, you can see if you push directly and peep directly, you don't quite reduce as much, and you don't have the potential to build as much. So the difference, it turns out to be like nearly 2 points or so. I think probably about 2 points. Another 2 points down the drain. From his 8-point lead down to 6, 6-point lead down to 4. He's gonna hold it. He's gonna hold it. I promise. I promise. Surely. White pushes. Black connects. White blocks here. Black plays the bamboo. Always play the bamboo. And white connects. So that was a sente sequence. And black pushes and cuts. So Alex could, instead of blocking here, have just played a solid connect. However, that wouldn't have applied as much pressure on the black life and death, because he had peeped and pushed in, and he was very cognizant of the idea that black has only one eye over there. He was much more interested in using the fact that black has only one eye to restrict it, and therefore gain value in the form of his power. It actually makes a lot of sense. We should counterattack. Very similar to this, but black also knew, so black comes back, tries to form his eye, and white jumps. White has to take care of himself. This is exactly like Alex's plan. Oh, you're going to take care of yourself, and in the meantime, I'm going to take care of myself. I was weaker. Good for me. Black jumps and plays Hane. It's a good move. It sets up the Hane again. This sequence is really nice by black. It puts a lot of pressure on white because there's a cut coming over here, and a cut coming over here, and a cut coming over here, and a cut coming over here. And black is also making some eye space at the same time, some eye shape here. So white would really like to just be able to say, oh, I cover all my cuts and I attack you. But there's so much going on. There's no way for white to get to everything. So he Ataris in first. This move is making sense. If black connects, then white would be able to defend the outside, and it would form this nice shape for white to also defend the top side naturally. So black counter Ataris. This is really harsh. It means if white captures, black is going to Atari, and if white connects there, then the topside weaknesses become pretty severe. Yeah, in the game, Alex just gave up. To be honest, it was probably doable to do it the other way. So like, if you do it like this and here, and connect, black can cut like this. It's kind of scary. So if we play this one, then black is going to get to capture the 2 stones later, which will make them already alive, and then also that's some potential territory. And if instead, to stop that, so that they wouldn't be already alive, if we play here, then we have some shortage of liberty problem happening on the top side as well. So maybe black wouldn't chase it right away, but start by chasing the outside here. But eventually black is going to look at cut and squeeze over here as well, or descend. It's like, this is probably working for white, probably, in the sense that he's not going to collapse. But he still has a group which is not alive on the bottom side, remember. He still has a group which is not alive on the right side. And now he's sort of committing to saving a bunch of stones in the left center. He probably thought, I'm already leading. He was already relaxed, 30 moves ago, or actually 50 moves ago, wow. He was relaxed then. He hasn't lost very much, nothing obvious. Well, the 2 points on the left side were obvious, but he hasn't lost very much. He should still be leading. He just calms the game down. This is very professional by Alex, to be honest. Even though it was maybe possible to do the other way, I really appreciate to see him play that one, and then bamboo in the center. Always bamboo. So black gets to play this move in sente. Black gets to live. That's one eye in sente. He still has the other eye, still has the other eyes over there. Black's super alive, super alive. But white got to build the left side. White got to save the center. White got to save the bottom side. Black is running out of chances to rescue this game. So he goes in. Li Zihan has a lot of fighting spirit. Bang. This move. I'm going to go and cut you. I'm going to cut you. I'm going to do all this stuff. To be honest, Black probably didn't need to be this aggressive. He was thinking like, I'm going to build this territory and I'm going to cut, I'm going to cut, I'm going to push everything in my favor. But I think it would have been better to just connect the bottom side. It looks kind of silly like this. It looks kind of lame. Oh, we're just going to let them run out. Like, we're just going to let them take that move. But yeah, we should just let them take that move. And then we can still mess around, you know? We can still walk towards the top side. And in general, what I saw, if Black played here, White's only move to keep a more than 2-point advantage was to net here, which I guarantee you Alex wouldn't have done, because I'm not even close to doing that, and Alex does play somewhat similar to me. I don't think anybody nets here after the opponent says, I take your one eye. I take your one eye. Okay, I just net. I let you attack me, I'll absorb it all, and I'll get the extra point of territory and save this. It's too hard. It's too hard. Alex would have done something more direct, something more normal, something more human, and then the game would have been very close going into the end game. Instead, like this, Alex takes this timing. He's like, oh, you're going to go cut me everywhere in the center? Go ahead. I'm just going to save myself on the bottom side. It was great timing to go and capture this stone on the bottom side, make himself purely super alive. And now Black has only one group left to attack, the upper right group. So he goes in. Save the cutting stone. I got to attack it. My last chance in the game, right? White plays the Sente move. That Sente move. Probably they're getting somewhat low on time now. I'm not actually sure how the time situation works. I don't think it's in time, but like where you pay stones to get extra time. But I don't know. Alex comes back to live. So finally he managed to make eyes mostly. This is not exactly 2 eyes yet. So Black is going to press on that, of course. Black plays the Hane, says, please go answer, answer, answer. And White plays answer, answer. And now it's clear. Now he has the 2 eyes. He has an Atari here. So White group is very, very solidly alive. Actually, that was a chance. He could have stopped the thing which Black is going to do next, which I'm sure he knew about. Everybody can read this really easily at their level. Black attach here. White wants to block a lot, but then when Black plays... Okay, first Black plays some exchanges on the top side, good endgame, but when Black plays this Atari, White has very little chance to connect here, because after, in the game he doesn't connect at all, and Black gets to capture that. If White would have connected, then there's going to be this cut, and this is extremely, extremely, extremely dangerous, meaning not working. Don't do that, don't do that. So that's really easy reading for their level. They already knew after this attach happened. Both of them already knew those 2 stones are dead, and probably Alex already knew at this point when he's making some Sente over here. He probably already knew that Black can attach and try to capture those 2 stones now, because I already knew that, and Alex generally knows everything that I already know about the game. Yeah, so instead of playing like this, there was a fancy move he could try. Instead of directly saving, he could have attached here. This is a really, really nice move. It means I'm going to Atari your 2 stones to save myself. First of all, if you go and cut me here, right, then I can still make the Atari. And then I already have the 2 eyes, so I didn't need to connect to this side, and I could then save my other stones with the ladder. So that would be forcing, right? After this one, even after this, White can keep that same threat. Eventually Black has to answer, and then White could come back and do the exact same thing that he does in the game. And you can see by attaching there, White managed to forcefully block Black from using that attach that cut the 2 stones off in the tricks later. So White would have managed to get a little bit more there. Unfortunately, missing his chance like that, Black managed to get the top side endgame and go to the center endgame and finish it. And we go to the small endgame after Black's Gote. Another 2 points gone. 8 points down to 6 points down to 4 points down to 2 points. The game is so close. The game is so close, but Alex is going to take his Sente. We're in the end game here. He takes his Sente, blocks here. It's a great move. Fantastic move. Threatening to block and take a huge territory on the top side. Black needs to break that, and then White can reduce this territory the most. Obviously, it's better to have gone from this direction rather than block the upper right part of the center, because then you wouldn't have been able to reduce any Black territory this way. He reduces a little bit of Black territory, so that's great. And then he plays Peep here. The center had become the next valuable area. So black's potential to make center territory here and there, that was the decisive place of battle. So Alex gets to go there first. It's a really good move. Black pushes, throws in. This is how I'm pretty sure they were using Byomi, because there's no reason to do these things unless when you play a move in Sente, then you get more time to think. And this is the most critical moment maybe of the whole game. So Li Zihan took his time, thought very, very carefully here, and came up with the blue move. Very respectable. I mean, for under 18 to realize, oh, I'm in the end game is 2 points. I need to take my time to do it carefully and then find the blue move. Great, really great job. He played connect here. So that was exactly correct. To be honest, I don't know why. If it were me playing, I wouldn't have played the blue move. But good job to Li Zihan. That was correct according to AI. Obviously, it's a block, and you should block to try to get endgame territory and try to get counterplay. But I thought there were better ways to try to secure the endgame. I guess I'm just wrong. I haven't gotten to research this much. It just happened today. Anyway, Wait Atari'd and pushed here. So Wait's playing some Sente moves as well. And then eventually Wait turned here. That one is not Sente. But the reason why he did it is he knew, okay, this connect, it sets up a threat here for Black. Black was obviously eyeing the potential to jump and secure a little bit of territory over here. And then Alex's idea was, okay, I'm going to break the territory there that you can get if you push. And when you use that jump and I come back and connect, I already have a chance to reduce it from the other side as well. So Black ended up playing the jump and then capturing the 2 stuns there. That was pretty big, because not only is it just the 4 points, but it also fixes the cutting point there. And since White was really eyeing on using the weaknesses to try to jump into this area, the cutting point actually kind of mattered in this game quite a bit. So if White would have gone to play there, it would have really helped the center end game for White. So this is not just a 4-point move. A little bit more than that. White plays this Atari in capture. Black answers like this. And White plays this move. This was the biggest endgame, in my opinion. I think this was so big. Really nice for Alex to go get it. And Black had to block here. Because if he didn't block there, then White was going to push. And then if he blocks the next one, White Ataris and pushes here. And then Black kind of has to answer like again. It's just a disaster, very similar to the bottom left. Over concentration kind of disaster. So block here looks like a really good move. It's not just 1 point reverse Sente, but maybe even 2 points reverse Sente, very big. White pushes and then pushes here. Those were Sente. And yeah, we have White push towards the Black territory, Black push towards the White territory, White answer. Because in this case, there was a potential for that next push to imply another move beyond just the original point, especially considering that there's going to be some co-funny business happening over here. So Alex really didn't want it to be that Black pushes there and later on tries to fight a co for double Atari. That would be very nasty. So after getting that push, Black gets to go to the top side, and Alex plays this, so he's covering that ko-aji even a little bit more, making that as solid as possible. Black just connects, making it so that it should be his right to Atari there in the future, and White comes back to connect here. Obviously big move, save the 1 stone, and sets up another potential point for White on the top side there. Then Black plays here. It looks like a 1.5 point move, but it also sets up this part. So that part is actually really interesting. I was studying some infinitesimal endgame theory recently, to be shown on the YouTube channel. I'm very excited actually for when I can show you that. Some really deep secrets. Anyway, this is kind of related to those deep secrets, and they played it really, really well actually. They're going and playing these 2 point moves. It's actually correct. I believe, to go and do these things rather than these, although those moves are also 2 points. How can I say? So in some end games, you can play a 2 point move. Like some 2 point moves are infinitesimally different than other 2 point moves. We're gonna get into this another time, but there is no number, like any fraction, no rational number, which is smaller than the difference between the 2 point move here and the 2 point move there. However, there is a difference. To be honest, at this point, this 2 point move, there's a co-threat difference. So, I mean, this one is much bigger. A co-threat is much bigger than infinitesimal, like way bigger. But, yeah, Black even took this That probably had to do with code threads too. You know, maybe they only did the infinitesimal thing accidentally, but they did the infinitesimal thing well. Even this white push was also, that's correct, rather than playing in the upper right, on a very, very small scale. Actually, the infinitesimal stuff, it can matter in Go. It's possible for it to like change things. In this game, it couldn't possibly change anything. So actually, kind of irrelevant. But and I had fun. I've been studying this endgame stuff recently, and they happened to do it right. Anyway, black plays the Atari and then answer, and then black pushed there. So that was stopping white from making 1 point there. And then white pushes here, stopping black from making a 1 point there. Well, black wasn't really going to make a 1 point there, but this is actually aiming at creating a ko on those 3 stones, or creating some cut over there to try to capture the 1 stone. So at this point, basically this was all sente. He just reduced it to dame, and he could fight a ko for those 3 stones, but Alex has counted now, and he knows that he's leading just barely. So he connects, and black connects. Alex is going to win this game by the smallest possible margin, it seems like. He pushes here, and black pushes there. So the push there, the idea is that eventually black needs to spend a move. If black plays here, right, then when all the liberties are filled, white will be able to cut. Black obviously can't Atari down. Yeah, so white cut first. Then this became a little interesting. The idea is like, right, let's say that nothing in particular special happened. It was like this, and we just filled the liberties. Now the cut is going to work, because black can't Atari down. All the liberties are filled, so you die. And if he Ataris this way, these 4 stones get in trouble, and then these stones get in trouble after that. So this is like the very simple reason why this move was worth 1 point. So this was worth 1 point, and that center was worth 1 point, and then all that's left is the corner. But the corner is a bit funny here. So you can fight a half-point ko in the corner, and this half-point ko might matter. The game is so close, so close. So Alex wants to fight it, and he wants to get it for sure. So he tries to play this one in sente. So the idea is, okay, you're going to Atari me down, and then I'm going to play here, and then you can't block, because now I'm going to block you here, and then that would be crazy, right? You shouldn't do that. So you're going to fall back, and then I'm going to be able to connect, right? And oops, and connect here and win that thing, and then if white can win it all, then white definitely wins the game. So that's why black resists. He played here. Actually, this is a terrible mistake, because black can't win the ko. If all the ko threats are played correctly, black just died. But it's very complicated, and black's idea is, you missed the last half-point ko. I can block the territory, and I'm only going to spend 1 move answering anyway, and then maybe I can win by half a point. Maybe. That's black's dream. So white says, wow, are you serious? I get to extend here and race you over there? But he realizes now, oh, I have to make a ko. He just turns here. It would be nice to be able to like jump or something, but actually you would lose the liberty race. You cannot take a black liberty here. So he has to play like this, and when black honeys here, he has no choice. He Ataris first, because that Atari will never be a ko threat during the ko, and captures the ko. So we have a ko now. This ko is for the whole corner. Obviously, if white wins that, that's white plus 20 or something. But black has a lot of threats. Remember, black didn't use this threat earlier on in the game when it was possible. Black has conserved it the whole game, all the way till now, and now he gets to use it. And they're fighting the ko. It's super exciting. They're fighting the ko. They're fighting the ko. White managed to make 3 ko threats over here. It's exactly correct, by the way that Alex did it. Really nice. He used the correct ko threat in order to make it so that he had the wedge, and then 1 more ko threat. 3 ko threats against that upper left group is a big haul. Black used this ko threat. Very nice. And then this one. So yeah, actually this black ko threat, it sets up another ko threat here in the corner, which is very interesting, because that loses a lot. However, if white loses a lot first, making some ko threat, then maybe black could do that someday. kind of interesting idea. Anyway, they're going to play normal ko threats for now, and eventually white plays this one, and black resigned. The reason why black resigned is because he realized, oh, if I connect here, then you can use this one, and that reduces black 1 extra point. So then all of this fighting for like the ko couldn't possibly have been worth it. But if black answers, then white even has one more co-threat here. And at this point, black is seriously running out of co-threats. There's no very basic co-threats to use. I mean, there's this one, just the one, but then after that, there will be another co-threat here. And then, yeah, black is going to have to use this co-threat. And it's just not possible because that already gives away a lot of value as well. So, you know, he'd be losing a lot. Actually, to be honest, the co-threat on the bottom side here, the reason why that didn't get played yet is because it's just not big enough. If black played there, then white would capture here. The area is like, what, 8 intersections, and this area swing is like 13 intersections, and both sides switch, white to black, black to white. So 13 greater than 8. This gains like 10 points for white, something like that. Yeah, so that was the end of the game. White played here, black realized, I don't have enough threats. I can't fight it at the end of the day. Yeah, Alex, he got a little ahead of himself here. Cutting is, I think, pretty clearly a mistake, probably. He could have just done this and just done it the normal way and like conserved the cut for his co-threat the normal way. This would have been it's like, it would have actually been kind of not working for black. You know, white can come down and then it's like capturing the ko should be white's sente. So eventually white should just secure the ko anyway like this. There was no reason to cut first. But yeah, there was some fireworks to end the game, make it fun for us, and then eventually when white played here, Lee Si-han resigns and sends Alex through to the finals of the World Youth Go Championship, the first ever non-Korean, Taiwanese, Chinese, Japanese player to make it to the finals. Actually, no Japanese player has even won the World Youth Go Championship under 18 division. Alex has a chance to be the first. He has a chance to... US could beat Japan at something in Go. What? Be the first to win the World Youth Go Championship under 18 division after like 40 years of this running. So we're going to watch the next game right now, actually. I think. Should we? Oh, no. I'll tease you a little bit. I'll show you the next game tomorrow. It's a good one. It's a good one. Very, very fun finals. Oh my goodness. This was so intense. This is so incredible. Hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.